Hare Krishna, Namaste. There's another Divya Desham which is located in the heart of Chennai city called Thiruvallikeni, also known as Triplicane, which is around 9 miles from the Chennai International Airport. This is well known as Parthasarathi Temple. Parthasarathi means charioteer of Arjuna, and the temple is located very close to the ocean, Bay of Bengal. This temple has a unique features, but Thiruvallikeni means Thiru Alli Keni. Keni means pond, a small pond, and Alli means lilies, a kind of flower. Therefore, this place is called Thiruvallikeni, then later known as Triplicane or Thiruvallikeni. Also it is said this place is Brindharanyam in the Puranas, because this place was filled with lot of tulasi. Therefore, this is called as Brindharanyam, a forest of tulasi. It is no more a forest, it is populated heavily around the temple, but in those days it seems that this place was filled with a lot of tulasis. This is the temple where Sripad Ramanujacharya's parents, Sri Asuri Keshavacharya and his wife prayed to have a progeny, a son, and their prayers were answered with the appearance of Sripad Ramanujacharya. Among 12 Arvas, 3 Arvas as glorified it is placed in their pasarams: Pei Arvar, Thirumaishi Arvar and Thirumangai Arvar. வேப்பர விழவும் கஞ்சனமல்லும் வேழனும் பாகனும் வீழ செற்றவன் தன்னை புறமறி செய்த சிவனொரு துயர்களை தேவை பற்றலர் வீழ கோல் கையில் கொண்டு பார்த்தன் தன் தேர் முன் நின்றானே சிற்றவை பணியால் முடி துறந்தானே திருவல்லிக்கேணி கண்டேனே. This pasaram is meant for this temple glorifying the Lord. When Akrura brought Krishna and Balaram to Mathura to participate in Dhanuriyagam that has been conducted by Kamsa, Krishna finished Mushtika, Chanura, the elephant, Kuvalayapita, the elephant caretaker, the one who stood as a charioteer in front of Arjuna's chariot, holding a stick in his hand. He who got the enemies to be destroyed, obeying the words of his stepmother Kaikeyi, he clearly abandoned the kingdom. I got to see that Lord Sri Parthasarathi in Thiruvallikeni. This is what Pasaram says. Here, the Moola Murti is Venkata Krishnan. Utsava Murti is Parthasarathi Perumal. This temple is quite unique in the way it has certain things. The Moola Murti, Venkata Krishnan, has a mustache. Only temple, Krishna temple, where we can see where Krishna has mustache because he is a chariot driver. This is also confirmed. Apranakata sarvayeva suvarnaha hiranyasprishuhu hiranyakeshaha, that the Lord has a golden mustache. There are 2 entrances to this temple. The west facing leads to Narasimha shrine, whereas the east facing leads to the Parthasarathi shrine. Another unique thing about this temple is, by visiting this temple, it is equal to visiting 5 other Divya Deshams. 1. Tirupati, another Ayodhya, 3rd Srirangam, 4th Ahobilam, 5th Kanchipuram Varadaraja Perumal. Because we have all those 5 deities in this one temple. The another feature of this temple is, this is the only temple where you can see the Lord in standing form, in walking form, in resting form, in sitting pose, and then in flying form. He stands as Venkata Krishna Perumal, which represents Tirupati, and there is Sita Rama Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna shrine, which represents walking form, and there is Mannatha Perumal, that is Sri Ranganatha, who is in a lying down form with Sridevi, Bhudevi, and Brahma appearing from the Lord's navel. And we also can see in sitting form Telisinga Perumal, that is Lord Narsimhadev, that represents Ahobilam. And fifthly, in the flying form, who is known as Gajendra Varadan, Varadaraja Perumal, where the Lord always on the Garuda, Nitya Garuda Seva. The Venkata Krishnan shrine, which is facing east, on the right side has Rukmini Devi and then Balaram, Krishna's brother. On the left side, Satyaki, that is Krishna's chariot driver, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Pradyumna is his son and his grandson Aniruddha. We can find all of them in that one shrine. But we should not rush when we go to this temple. We have to request the priest to show the other family members. The Sthala Puranam of this temple says that there was a king by name Sumati who went to Tirumala to take darshan of Lord Balaji. But he wished to worship Lord Balaji as Krishna with two-handed form, because the Lord over there in Tirupati is with four hands, but he would like to see the Lord as Krishna with two-handed form. But the Lord told King Sumati that that is not going to happen over here, but he can fulfill his desire at the place called Thiruvallikeni, the Kairavani Pushkarani, the pond Kairavani. As instructed by the Lord, King Sumati came to Thiruvallikeni and did his tapas, and the Lord appeared as he requested, as he stood in the Mahabharata war. The Lord was the charioteer for Arjuna during the Mahabharata war, as he was giving the Bhagavad Gita. When we have a closer look at the Utsava Murti, Sri Parthasharathy Perumal, we can find on his face, which is full of scars created by the arrows of Bhishma in the Kurukshetra war. The Lord carries conch on his right hand and then left hand pointing to his lotus feet to his devotees to surrender. It is said, if one sees the Harati of this Perumal in full, then they get the benefit of reciting Bhagavad Gita completely. Starting from Panchajanyam Rishikesham Devadattam Dhananjaya, from the top to the bottom to his lotus feet, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyaha Mokshayishyami Masuchaha. Then, as we mentioned, Telliya Singha Perumal, that is Lord Narasimha Swami. The Moolavar over here is in yoga form, therefore he is Yoga Narasimha. Whereas the Utsavar is Telliya Singha. He appears here in this form as if he is calling the devotees to come to his lotus feet. Interestingly, this temple doors has bells but doesn't have the tongue in the bell. Because the Lord here is in yoga form, he doesn't want to be disturbed by any noise. It is also said that anyone who circumambulates this shrine, their wishes and prayers will get fulfilled. And we can take darshan of Sri Ranganathan. Before we take darshan of Venkata Krishnan, we can take darshan of Ranganatha Perumal, Mannatha Perumal. Interestingly, this Lord who is lying down doesn't carry any weapons. The Lord is along with his Sri Devi and Bhudevi. And also in the same area we can have darshan of Sita Ram, Bharata Lakshmana, Shatrughna. The Lord here is Sri Godanda Raman, facing south. We can then have darshan of Sri Vedavalli Tayar in a separate Sannidhi shrine on the right, after we come out of Sri Venkata Krishna shrine. Then, as we mentioned earlier, there is a separate shrine for Gajendra Varadan, where the Lord, seated on Garuda and flying to save Gajendra, the elephant. Then there is also Andal Sannidhi, Andal shrine, to the right side of Narasimha Swami Sannidhi. The pond, Tirtham, here is Kairaveni Pushkarani. That is what known as Allikeni. Therefore, the name of this place is Thiruvallikeni. Now it is Triplicane. It's a beautiful temple that one must visit and take the blessings of the Lord who spoke Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Hare Krishna.